guys, it's Tony Guitarra here from Achievers Group with another passionate, practical, inspiring, hopefully educational business video vitamin. Hey guys, we're going to get behind the screen today. I'm going to shock you. Some of this stuff, you probably know that for a long period of my time, I was really in the hard world of corporate negotiating. I was general manager of Harvey Norman. Predominantly, I had a role that was about buying stock for all of our franchisees, and we were doing roughly about 570 million in computers. So we were buying lots and lots of stock. And I just wanted to, share with you some insights on gutsy negotiating tactics. Now, I need to prepare you for something, guys. Some of you may not like these tactics. I'm not sharing it with you so you do it. I'm sharing it with you so when others do it to you, you can defend yourself. So this is mainly to help you if you are selling and you are selling to professional negotiators. Some of these techniques are planned. I have been a professional negotiator. I've used a lot of these techniques. Now, I'm not proud of using these techniques, but I do know that these techniques actually do work because they gave us a desired outcome in Harvey Norman that was extraordinary. I mean, Harvey Norman was viewed as the fiercest of negotiators when it came to buying stock for their stores. That was the fame of Harvey Norman because we had a culture that we were very fierce negotiators. So I just wanted to give you some of the negotiation ideas, 10 gutsy negotiation tactics. I mean gutsy, they're out there, okay? They're a bit challenging, all right? If you're a kumbaya negotiator, you're probably not going to use any of these techniques. But if you are an eagle and you want the best possible result, wow, these will give you a great result. So let's go through them. Number one is forbearance. Now, what forbearance means, it's the carrot and stick, guys. It's hold back the threat of negative action until the effect is greatest. Drop it immediately when convinced. It's ramping it up and saying, look, clearly, I think we should be looking around. Clearly, we're not happy with what you've got. Clearly, when I was at Harvey Norman, we used a lot of these tactics. I would call them in and we're reconsidering ranging your products. We've made a decision that we're not sure that we can maintain the profitability in your products, and we're thinking that we should actually cut supply. Soon as I mentioned cut supply, it is amazing how they changed. As soon as I said I am deadly serious about this, it's amazing how stuff that they couldn't give us suddenly was achievable. It was extraordinary. And the reason it was so extraordinary is because I actually drew the line in the sand and I said enough is enough and I'm definitely going to take action. Now, that is a brilliant negotiating technique, but it certainly also ensures that if you don't get what you want, you do have to cut that relationship. But that's not bad because you've got so much competition that will take that new supply. Brilliant technique. Number two, done it. I've done this, guys. So I just wanted to share with you. When I was at Harvey Norman, I used to lose it. We used to have meetings and I used to stand up on the chair. I used to actually lose it. I was insulted. I would yell at suppliers saying, that is insane. That is way too expensive. That is nuts. You can't do that. I exaggerated my disgust. And exaggerating my disgust, they actually said, oh, what do we have to do, Tony? And I said, this is what you've got to do. It is throwing a tantrum. Now, you may not like it, but when others do it to you, please be aware of what is occurring. Number three, bland withdrawal, deny everything. Now, I've never done this, but I know some people that have memory relapses. They say, I don't remember you telling me that. Is that in writing? So it's really important to get everything in writing, because if you don't get things in writing and you're an experienced negotiator will use the stuff that you haven't put in writing against you, because they'll say, I deny that. You don't have that in writing. Number four is apparent withdrawal. Deny the legitimacy or the authority of the price increase. Say that is completely and absolute preposterous. I'm not even accepting it. I'm not even accepting that you have the authority to do that. So you actually deny the authority of the person who is trying to negotiate. You say, I want to go and see your boss. This is clearly preposterous. Now, I have done that myself, where I've had sales managers come in and try to increase the price. And I've said to them, no, I need to speak to the MD because this has serious implications. And they would bring in the MD and I would say to the MD, do you understand that if you increase your prices, what will happen to your business? Do you understand exactly the implications that is with Harvey Norman? And they looked at me and they said, no, tell me what that implications are. And I explained to them how their business would shrink with their major retailer. And suddenly they changed their minds. Number 5, this is a brilliant strategy. Happens to me is that it's called fait accompli, which actually means postpone until time has just about to run out, where you actually put deadlines on things. You never tell them what your deadline is, but you put a deadline on them. You know what their deadlines are. You say, if you don't make a decision by 4 o'clock, we will go with someone else. So much of negotiation is about giving people deadlines. Look, I have another offer on the table. I'm looking at that offer. I need you to come back to me by this amount of time if you want to defend yourself. But you've got to put a deadline on it. You've actually got to tell people this is it and it's over. And if you don't get back in contact with me by this time, we're actually going to go somewhere else. Number 6 is just paying lip service. Really simple. People are trying to negotiate with you. You don't even recognize that it even exists. Number 7, putting a deadline on it, which is called limiting, which is pretty similar to the one we've had before. Always put a deadline on people, but never allow them to expose your deadline. Never be under time pressure as a negotiator. Number 8 is shift attention to a minor issue. Now, this is really, really important. I want to share you an insight, guys. Again, this is the old Tony Guattari. But when Tony was negotiating ferociously, sometimes I would make a minor thing very major. The reason I made a minor thing very major is because I was going to throw that thing away in a concession to try to get you, the other party, to make a concession of a similar value. So I would draw fire away from the main area, take it to somewhere else, expand on that, make it a big deal, then actually concede that. And in that concession, you would feel that you would have to make a concession also. But that concession that I gave you wasn't an important concession to begin with. Right. Number 9 is take it higher. You know, clearly, one of the best things you can do as a negotiation is don't say yes too quickly. Say, look, I've got to speak to the board about that. I've got to speak to my boss about that. I've got to speak to my wife about that. I've got to speak to my partner about this. And I know I'm not sure that we can get this through, but never mention the partner, the wife, the boss, but take it higher. It's called the higher authority negotiating gambit. Because what you can then do is ultimately use the next strategy where you bridge both the higher authority and good cop, bad cop, where you position your boss, your wife, your partner, or your board as the bad cop, where you say, look, Tom, I'd really like to have that product, but I'm telling you, I've just been to the board, and the only budget that we've got is 10 grand. Man, I know your product is at 13 grand. It's such a shame we're only $3,000 off. It's such a shame that we can't do a deal because I was so looking forward to getting this product or service in our business. It's such a shame. They're really tough. I've been back to them 7 or 8 times. It is just so tragic that we couldn't get over the line and we're only $3,000 off. There is a likelihood that a salesperson will use that and negotiate with you and either try to actually reach that price of 10 grand or split that or split it again in order to get you really, really close to that $10,000. So guys, I just really wanted to give you those 10 gutsy negotiation tactics. I wanted to share with you openly. This is stuff that I've done. I have not always been proud of this, guys. I learnt this in the brutal world of retail buying when we were buying millions and millions of dollars of products from 400 odd suppliers. And I just wanted to share it with you because not only am I asking you not to do it, which I don't think you should do it, but I want you to understand that when others are doing it to you, what's actually going on. Because the best way to defend yourself from a fierce negotiation, is to expose what they're doing in front of them. As soon as you expose what they're doing, then you're taking away their complete and absolute power. So until next time, God bless you. Have the most amazing week.